Tonight, Republicans in the Senate overwhelmingly voting to reject the border security bill they themselves had demanded, full of their own priorities for cracking down on illegal immigration. Only 4 Republicans voted to advance the bipartisan bill, including one of the Senate's most conservative members, James Lankford of Oklahoma, who led negotiations with Democrats.
If we're going to solve something, we have to sit down together and solve it. That's how it works when you make law. You can do press conferences without the other side, but you can't make law without the other side in the United States Senate.
The bill included a number of Republican priorities. $20 billion to strengthen the border, hiring new officers and Border Patrol agents, $650 million to build and reinforce miles of fencing, and $404 million to hire new judges and support staff to expedite asylum cases. It also introduced a new safeguard. When migrant apprehensions reach 5,000 a day, the border would automatically shut down.
And when the border's closed down, it's closed down for weeks.
But Donald Trump pressured Republicans to vote against the bill. He wants to run on immigration in the election.
In fact, I had a popular commentator 4 weeks ago that I talked to that told me flat out, before they knew any of the contents of the bill, nothing was out at that point, that told me flat out, if you try to move a bill that solves the border crisis during this presidential year, I will do whatever I can to destroy you. Because I do not want you to solve this during the presidential election. By the way, they have been faithful to their promise and have done everything they can to destroy me.
President Biden saying Republicans had to decide.
Who do they serve? Donald Trump or the American people?
House Speaker Mike Johnson was one of those Republicans who demanded a border security deal, saying in November that without it, there would be no new funding for Ukraine.
I think we could get bipartisan agreement on both of those matters.
But when Trump came out against the bill, Johnson reversed course, declaring it dead on arrival. Instead, he focused on impeaching Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. But in an embarrassing defeat,
The resolution is not adopted.
he didn't have the votes.
Last night was a setback, but democracy is messy.
Today, House Republicans still focused on impeaching Mayorkas rather than working with Democrats to fix the border. Does this solve any crisis at the border rather than reaching out to Democrats?
I don't care. I don't care if it takes a third time.
David, bottom line tonight, that bill is dead. Again, Republicans were the ones who were pushing for those border security measures. Now they are making it clear they are no longer interested in a bipartisan solution to address the crisis at the border before the November election.